Happy Thanksgiving to all the mama bears, papa bears, sons, daughters, grandmas, grandpas, uncles, aunts, cousins, friends, and neighbors. This is my favorite time of year. I love the fall. You get to wear layers, cute boots. The weather's usually the perfect temperature where you can take a long walk without sweating or freezing. Unfortunately, winter has decided to come a bit early as far as temperature is concerned here in Chicago, but I'm very thankful that we don't have to put on the winter boots yet. Sorry, Buffalo, New York. I hope you guys dig out soon. I feel Thanksgiving is the official kickoff of the holiday season. In our home, that means family time. We've got kids that are off at college who get to come home and stay with us for a while. We get to plan things with extended family. And of course, there's Thanksgiving dinner, my husband's favorite thing. Because if he could, he would have all the things he could eat on Thanksgiving Day. We get pretty close, but I can only cook so much. This year we'll have 2 appetizers, 5 meats, 12 sides, and 4 desserts. I'm sure some of you are wondering what in the world could be on that menu. You have to be able to feed a small army. Well, you wouldn't be wrong about that. It's not highly unusual for us to have 20 or 30 people over when we have some kind of get together or celebration. It's not really intentional. It's just my wonderful husband has a habit of saying, "Oh, come on over." So back to the menu. We're going to have smoked turkey, fried turkey, barbecue ribs, a roast. And because it's pretty much considered a sin in the Ivy family not to have fried chicken on the table, we'll be having that as well. Greens, green bean casserole, macaroni and cheese, and lasagna, only because my husband needs more meat and pasta. Garlic mashed potatoes with gravy, dressing, my special turkey gravy, potato salad, cranberry sauce, cornbread muffins, dinner rolls, because you need more bread even though you have dressing, right? There will also be deviled eggs, the charcuterie board that has a Charleston-style hot dip on it, bruschetta with whipped goat cheese, a special multi-flavored pound cake, a decadent chocolate cake, egg custard pie, and of course, sweet potato pie. As I was grocery shopping through the multiple aisles of multiple grocery stores, people kept stopping me, asking, "What are you cooking? Where do you live? I'm coming to your house." I'm so very thankful for my very own mother who helped me pick, clean, and cut up all the collard greens. I had 2 cases. Again, trying to feed a small army. So there's always enough just in case an extra person shows up, and there's always plenty of food to take home. When it's time to put the food on the table, I don't really get a chance to match my servingware the way I prefer to. Again, because there's such a vast variety of food, we have to serve buffet style. Oh, and I just remembered, the 12th side dish is of course candied yams. If you'd like a peek, I'm going to try to take a short video and post it so you can see what the dinner looks like. As our village grows, I think it would be really fun if we could have a huge Friendsgiving dinner. I can't wait to see what the future holds. We posted a few questions online asking what some of your family traditions are for Thanksgiving, what's on your menu, do you have any epic fail stories you want to share? Feel free to share at any time. Perhaps after Thanksgiving you'll have more you want to share. Maybe we'll do a fun post-Thanksgiving episode. A few of my friends and family have shared some Thanksgiving fails with me. Hey guys, can you start posting them online, please? I get it. I know it may feel like another task, but it does get the interest of everyone in the village. The first fail that I'd like to share is chitlins. I know it's spelled chitterlings, but according to the Webster Dictionary, it is pronounced just as we say it from the South.
Chitlins.
I love that. So the first one really isn't a fail. It's an intentional manipulation to not have to clean chitlins. Apparently, when my mother was young, My grandmother requested that she clean a bucket of chitlins. This request was prompted by one of her older sisters. There's 7 girls total. And this particular sister wanted to know why my mother had not helped clean chitlins yet for any holiday because she was old enough. My grandmother put my mother at the sink with the bucket of chitlins and showed her how to clean them, explained that it was very important that they were cleaned thoroughly because, well, we know what's inside of a chitlin. My mother had been standing over the sink for an hour. The very same sister came to look at her progress and was livid. She ran to my grandmother, shouting, "Mom, Mom, Tina's standing over the sink cleaning that same chitlin you started her off with an hour ago. You can see through it." At that point, my grandmother walked in, took my mother away from the sink, and gave her instructions to go help with some other food prep. To this day, my mother has never cleaned another chitlin in her life. Take this as a lesson, parents. Our children are master manipulators. For our next Thanksgiving fail, it is yet another chitlin story. Sorry, Granny, this one still cracks me up. Many of you may know when it comes to soul food, it can be quite difficult to get that soulful flavor, the right texture and spices when you're trying to make soul food healthy. I would assume that the difficulty is coming from the fact that you're already getting the things that are being tossed aside because they weren't considered high quality ingredients. I'm often offended that some of those same products are very expensive now and considered delicacies. Hello, oxtails. But back to Granny's healthy chitlin fiasco. I can't really remember how old I was, perhaps about 14, when my grandmother decided she was going to help my grandfather out with his cholesterol and blood pressure readings by reducing the salt and fat content in his food. I grew up both watching and helping both of my grandmothers, my parents, and various other relatives cooking in the kitchen. Therefore, when my grandmother said she was going to make Papa's chitlins healthy, I was very suspect. From what I could see, she was doing the very same thing. She cleaned them very well, cooked them, seasoned them up the same way. Nothing had changed yet. The house smelled the same. So I'm looking like, how is this healthy? How do you actually make the intestines of a pig healthy? It's fat. It's skin. I don't understand. So, right before she served Papa his bowl of chitlins, she poured a small bottle of vinegar in the pot. All of a sudden, things started to rise. There was this foam action going on. It didn't look good. She then proceeded to scoop out all of the foam. Might I add that this foam had little specks in it. It looked very similar to the coarse black pepper that she had seasoned the chitlins with earlier. I was but a child, but in my mind, I thought, if it's bringing up the pepper, isn't it going to bring all the other seasonings up with it? After Granny scooped up a few heaping spoonfuls of chitlins for Papa, she boasted that now a little hot sauce wouldn't hurt him now. She placed the bowl of chitlins in front of him and his bottle of hot sauce. To give you a bit more insight, my Papa was completely blind. He could see a few shadows here and there, but for the most part, his vision was gone, unfortunately due to glaucoma. But I had already been a witness to what had unfolded in the pot. All the seasoning had risen, all the fat had risen. My grandmother scooped it out, put it down the sink, and then she served him pale, almost translucent chitlins. I didn't want to eat them. She hadn't even tried them. He was the unknowing guinea pig. Papa graciously accepted his bowl of chitlins, sprinkled a bit of hot sauce on them, and then the explosion. What in the Sam H-E double hockey sticks is this sugar honey iced tea that you put before me, woman? This is waddling around in my mouth and it ain't got no flavor. Gimme, Sweet give me a napkin. There were many more colorful words that my wonderful grandfather had to say, which in the moment it wasn't funny because I felt so bad for him. But in hindsight, and hindsight started probably about 5 minutes later, it was hilarious. It's still hilarious. And for my last Thanksgiving Day fail, let's talk about the proper way to cook a whole turkey. This is not a cooking show, so therefore I'm not going to go into deep detail, but let's assume that when you buy a whole turkey, it's always going to have the extra parts inside of it. We're speaking of gizzards, livers, turkey necks. Those type of things will be inside of a bag, inside the cavity of the turkey. For all you adventurous new cooks and new wives, even though you don't want to reach your hand inside of the cavity of the bird, you have to do so. I had a friend who had no idea, and not only did she cook the turkey with the parts inside, she also somehow managed to stuff the turkey with her stuffing and undercook the bird, undercook the stuffing, and give her new husband and his family food poisoning. Let's just say that was not a happy Thanksgiving. Now, as a busy working mom of 4, she chooses to look at the whole thing as a blessing. No one has ever again asked her to prepare anything for a family dinner. She contributes with store-bought and catered items only. And she delights in the fact that she does not have to cook the way I do on the holidays. Another question that we posted was, what are some of your Thanksgiving traditions? Do you do arts and crafts with the kids in your family? Do you go to or watch the Thanksgiving Day parade? Do you have favorite recipes from a loved one that's passed away that you make in honor of them each year? In my household, I feel like food prep is sort of a tradition. It's a time where you get to spend together and work. There's a lot of silly things that happen. You listen to good music. It's a good time to connect. In the past several years, the charcuterie board has definitely become a tradition. Everyone loves it, and my stepdaughter usually prepares it with me. I love that she flies in every year at Thanksgiving time and helps me with food prep. So each year I do have some sweet memories building charcuterie boards with her. Last but definitely not least is our day after Thanksgiving tradition. It was very intentional for my husband and his 2 nieces and myself to take all of our children out together just to hang out as a family and keep the love flowing. We've done movies, bowling. We usually come back to one of our houses and have pizza night because the younger generation, they're over soul food after Thanksgiving. They don't want anything to do with it. And it's also a great excuse to polish off all of the Thanksgiving desserts. We also have game night after pizza, which is really fun. It's something we all look forward to. We're looking forward to trying some new games this year. I'm hoping that a new tradition we can start will be karaoke. Not that any of us can sing, but I think that would be fun as well. Are you looking to start any new traditions this year? I'd love to know what great ideas you've come up with. Another question we posted was very basic. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? It's actually a question that we should ask ourselves when we rise in the morning and before we go to bed at night. What am I thankful for? I'm first and always most grateful for God being the head and creator of my life, for loving, comforting, and strengthening me when I don't even realize how much I need it. For the times when I go rogue and I think he's the co-pilot, He corrects me and patiently allows the consequences and circumstances that I've created to teach me the things that I need to let go of and give over to him. I'm grateful for him just being so good. I'm thankful for my wonderful husband, my beautiful children, all my bonus children that also consider me their mom, for my own parents, my grandparents, for my aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, my entire family, my village that strives to support and encourage one another for the betterment of us all. Despite the crazy state that our world is in, our nation, I'm always grateful for the good stories that just so happen to make their way onto the news. The light of humanity, someone being a help to someone just because they can. I'm also grateful for this platform to be a light and a voice to let you know that I understand. I've been through it too. I see you, I hear you, I support you. I'm here to encourage you and wish you good. Well, that's all for now, Village. Whether you have some crazy shenanigans or epic cooking failures this Thanksgiving, just have some good old fun. I hope you create more beautiful family memories. And as always, sending you vibes of love and sanity. Your Forever Mama Bear.